Hey guys, it's Ashley here. Today I wanted to do something kind of fun and kind of mix it up for our recipes. So what I thought is I would go live and actually show you step by step how I make my easy egg muffins. These are really great because you can make them in batches ahead of time, and you can stick them in the freezer or you can stick them in the fridge and you can come back to them all throughout the week and you've got an easy breakfast that's already made. You can stick them in the microwave, you can stick them in the oven, you can do all kinds of things with them, and the kids actually will eat them too. And it's an easy way to throw your veggies in it. So what I have is I use muffin tins for my egg muffins. And this is kind of a double-edged sword because the ones that I use, first of all, I hate cleaning these things, especially when stuff gets stuck to it. And for me, it never seems, no matter how much cooking spray I use, something always gets stuck. So I use these things, and these are foil lined. And I use these just because it's easier for the eggs, and that with the eggs, they don't kind of seep through the paper ones when you stick them in the fridge. However, lesson I learned, don't stick these in the microwave when you're heating them back up. Take the egg out, stick it in the microwave, or just heat them up in the oven. So I'm going to line my muffin tins, and they're kind of fun. The kids like the animal print. They seem to get enjoyment out of that. Oh, look, there's like a giraffe one. All right, so I'm gonna get these all lined, and I don't bother spraying these. You can, but you really don't need to. I'll scoot you guys back so maybe you can see my face. So what I do is I get an assortment of veggies, and there's no strict recipe. Use whatever veggies you want to fill in these. And just go from there. And what I do is I take my veggies, like I'm going to start with spinach. I'm going to take some and I'm just going to chop some. And you don't want it to be too big because, you know, they are muffin cups and you do want them to fit in there and make room for the actual egg that you're going to put in there. So I chop it and I just sprinkle some in each cup. And let's see, I'm going to do some different variations. So I'm only going to put spinach in these first four. And then I've got some bell pepper. I love the red and the colorful bell pepper just because it almost has a sweeter taste to it than the green. And it's not boring. And you know, you want your food to look pretty, because if your food looks pretty, then you're more likely to eat it than if it's just plain and boring. And it goes the same way with kids. If you have to make it look enticing for the kids to eat. So I'm just going to give these a chop. And this is something that you can do on Sunday, stick it in the fridge, and they'll be good for 3 or 4 days. You can stick them in the freezer if you want to make bigger batches, and just take them out as you like. And I eat them at all different times of day. You don't have to make it just a breakfast item. You can do a late morning snack, you can do lunch. So I'm just going to stick some bell pepper in each. Okay, so I put those bell pepper on top of my spinach cups. Now I'm going to take some onion, some green onions. And just give those a rough chop. Like I said, you can use any kind of veggies that you want in these. These are kind of like their own creations. And it's fun to get the kids involved. That way they can make the ones that they like. And if your kids are anything like mine, if you have kids, they love to help in the kitchen. And they love to think, it's their own creation. That's what we do on pizza night, is I'll get, instead of making the big giant pizzas, I will get the little round whole wheat tortillas, and then they can put their sauce on it, and I'll get some cheese. They can put their own cheese and all their toppings, and then they feel like they made something and they contributed, and they love it. So I'm going to do a little green onion on top of my spinach and bell pepper, and then I'm also going to do some green onion in the next row. So we're going to have some just plain cheddar and green onion egg cups. So we got those. Good mix. Next, I have a friend who did this egg scramble a couple weeks ago, and can't see my face. She did it with, she did like a bowl, and she did rice and broccoli and cheese, and it looked so good. And I was like, broccoli and cheese, that's a good combination. You know, think of the broccoli cheddar soup. So I took some broccoli and some cheese, and I scrambled them with, you know, I cooked them up, and I scrambled them up with some eggs and did it like a souffle in the oven, and it was amazing. You know, it's just like the broccoli cheddar soup that you would get at Panera or something, but it's so much better for you. But what I have here, it's called Broccolini, and it has a little bit more nutrients than just regular broccoli in it. It's a little bit bitter, a little bit stronger of a taste, but I love it. I'll saute it with lemon and pine nuts, and it really is so good. I'm just going to take these leaves off of it. And if you wanted to steam this ahead of time, just to kind of soften it up, you could, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to go for it as is, and I'm going, you know, to chop the flowers off and a little bit of the stem. And then my last row, I'm going to have some cheddar and broccoli egg muffins. Doesn't that sound good? So, let's get those in there. All right. So, one last thing with my broccoli. I love leeks. I will take leeks and I will put them with artichokes, artichokes for like a leek and artichoke soup. Or I will take and put them with, I'll roast beets, and I'll put them with red wine vinegar and leeks and marinate them in the oven or in the refrigerator. I love them. And my oldest daughter, Madison, she goes nuts over them. She calls them purple pickles. She has no idea she's eating beets and leeks, but she will go crazy over them. So I'm just going to chop some leeks. And you don't want too many, but they're more mild than onions, so you're not going to get that strong onion thing. And I'm going to put them in the back cup with my broccolini. Alright, let's clean my board up. It's getting to be a mess here. Alright, then before I do the eggs, I'm going to add some cheese. Melissa, I got cheese. And one thing I will tell you is that when you're using cheese, you want to try and use block cheese. And the reason is because when you get the shredded stuff, they put all of this extra stuff in there to help keep it from clumping and all this other stuff. So you're getting all of these, you know, preservatives and ingredients that you don't need in your cheese just to save you time from shredding the cheese. So don't be lazy, get the block. All right, where is my grater? And I don't use a whole lot of cheese because, hello, containers. And for those of you that don't know what containers are, we can talk about that later. But I just want to shred a little bit of cheese. And by the way, Melissa, my husband is a cheese fanatic. So he will literally sit here and eat this entire block and just munch off of it. It's like a little mouse. So I'm going to shred some cheese. Like I said, I'm not doing a whole lot. And I might do, like, not even a tablespoon. I'm just going to spread some on top of the thing. And I'm going to go ahead and do cheese in all of my 12 cups. And I'm going to show you a picture of what my cups look like before we do the eggs in just a second. Oh, I need some more cheese. I love cheese too. And you can do any kind of cheese here that you want. Pepper jack would be really good, especially with the one with the peppers, and make it kind of like a Mexican egg cup. That would be super yummy. Or with the broccolini, you could do like an Asiago or Parmesan, and you know, just kind of give it your own flair. But like I said, these you do however you want. This is just the basic concept. All right, so cheese is done. I'm going to bring you over here and show you my egg cups. See, we got the broccoli, And then we got just the plain chive and cheddar. And then we have our super colorful bell pepper and spinach and cheddar. So, super excited. It's going to be great. So let's work on the eggs. Now, my rule is, basically 1 egg per muffin. So when you go to eat these, you can have 2 muffins and it's 2 eggs, or 1 bread serving, which if any of you are doing 21-day fix, your containers, and you have 2 eggs for 1 red container, and that's your protein. There's not that many veggies in here. They're veggies and they're great, but I wouldn't really bother counting them because it's so minimal, and I would just pile salad on my plate, maybe some fruit. If you wanted some meat to go with it, you could do some bacon, turkey bacon. Please don't eat turkey bacon. If you knew it was in turkey bacon, you would probably never eat it again. It's just, go look up turkey bacon, how they make it. I promise you won't like it anymore. But that's my soapbox. So let's get the eggs. Oh, and here is another thing. You can do your eggs 2 ways. You can put them in the bowl, you can scramble them, put them on top. Or you can just crack them straight into the muffin and let them bake up. And then I'm a big fan of a runny yellow center. So I will actually underbake the ones in the middle so that the yellow part is still a little runny. And that's if I'm going to eat in the same day. If I'm not going to eat it the same day, then I'm going to go ahead and cook it all the way. So I'm just going to crack some eggs right on top of my cheddar and chive, cheddar and green onion. Should have gotten chive, that would have been really good, but I didn't. Okay, and then for my bowl, I'm gonna do the other 8 eggs. And I'm just gonna mix them with a little bit of pink Himalayan sea salt and black pepper. Shell. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. My kids always take my dish towels and I can never find them. I'm like, please just use a paper towel. And they always go for the dish towels. So, let's get these scrambled quick. Have you ever blended or scrambled your eggs in the blender? Sometimes if I'm like getting real fancy for a weekend brunch, I'll take my eggs and I'll put them in the Ninja and I'll whip them like so good, and it makes them so super fluffy and like crazy light. But I'm not doing that today. Okay, that's good enough for that. A little pepper, a little bit of salt. And this is the salt that I use. It is pink Himalayan sea salt. And it's actually pink. I find that now that I'm not using the typical Morton's regular table salt, that I actually use less salt because I'm using this. And I'm not missing it at all. And this one has so many amazing health benefits for you. So I definitely suggest you checking it out. Alright, so I'm going to take my eggs and I'm going to put them in a measuring cup, because if I don't, I will have eggs all over the counter, and I definitely do not want that. Alright, so, you guys are still only getting like very top of my head. There we go. Alright, so I'm going to take my eggs, let's get my pan right here, and I'm just going to pour them on top of my veggies. And I did 8 eggs because I have 8 extra slots here. Because remember, we did 4, we just cracked the egg and put it straight in. And I like to do that when I don't do a lot of veggies, because it looks pretty and it's something different. It gives a little bit of a variety. I'm really excited about the broccolini and cheddar cups. Those are going to be amazing. And like I said, it comes out to about 1 egg per cup. Alright. So, let me show you what they look like. These are my cups. You've got, again, the bell pepper and spinach. You've got my, see how pretty it is with the whole egg in it? And then you've got the broccolini and cheddar. So I'm really excited about these. I'm going to stick these in the oven and bake them off. And then when they get done, I will post a picture in the group. And like I said, there's not really a recipe for these. You know, you just, whatever veggies you want, you put them in the cup. And then you put about an egg in each one. If you want to put them in there whole, you want to put them in there, I'm going to scramble them first, but you know, just be creative with it, and then you can serve it like with a bed of greens or with fruit. I am a spice fan, so I always add some Tabasco on top of mine because I love heat. But they're great. You just stick them in the fridge, pull them out when you need it, and then you don't have to do this every single day or every morning if you're super busy and on the go. So I hope this helps, and like I said, I'll post a pic in the group later of the finished project, and thanks for watching. Bye guys.